It's DSP's Game of the Year Awards, the top 10 best games of 2014. Honorable mention, Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U. So this game originally sounded like it might be something that's just kind of thrown together and doesn't make sense. But you know what? The ultimate execution of characters and lore from the Legend of Zelda universe combined with the hack-and-slash open-world gameplay of Dynasty Warriors really worked. A colorful cast, great graphics, the ability to have hundreds of enemies on the screen at once, being able to control some of your favorite characters from the Legend of Zelda stories in an awesome combat kind of style you've never seen before, and of course, the really amazing and awesome ability to play as Ganondorf, very overpowered villain in many different stages, just added to this game's charm. Throw in the fact that there are definitely a lot of content, tons of stages and challenges, unlockables. It really is a great value for the buck and a good game for any Dynasty Warriors fan. So why didn't it make my top 10? Quite simply because it's still the same hack-and-slash Dynasty Warriors gameplay with very few times where elements from the Legend of Zelda were implemented into it, for example in some of the boss fights. If there was a little bit more originality, maybe I would have said okay, but honestly, it's just good old fun. A lot of hack-and-slash action with Zelda characters. Check it out if you haven't, especially if you like previous Dynasty Warrior games. It's definitely one of the best games on Wii U this year. But now back to the games that did make my countdown. Up next at number 8, it's The Walking Dead Season 2. Now, I fully understand that this game actually started to be released in 2013, and I think that we're going to have a little bit of a challenge when it comes to these episodically released games in the near future, deciding, gee, if you really like one, how do you reward it, for what year? And my ultimate choice is to reward it in the year where the final episode was released. And in the case of The Walking Dead Season 2, yes, it started in late 2013, but it had completed in the year of 2014, therefore that's why it shows up in this countdown. Going back into the shoes of Clementine, who was one of the remaining surviving protagonists from Season 1, going right back into this world where people are dying, and as they die they all become zombies, the gruesome things that happen in this world, the morality choices, and of course the fact that sometimes it's not the zombies that are the most dangerous thing in this universe. I just really enjoyed being thrown back into it. It really had the same kind of vibe as Season 1. And, unlike Season 1, the awesome thing about this was the ultimate ending of Season 2 depended and changed on your actual decisions during the final episode. A lot of people had gripes with Season 1 saying, gee, it didn't really matter what you chose, it was kind of a fake out because by the end of it, it was the same outcome for everyone. In this case, you actually had the chance to get multiple endings, and I was actually happy with the fact that my choices and my personal morality led me to the ending that I got, and I said, I accept this as my ending. Now, there were a few problems with the season. There were a few times where there were some choices that didn't seem to make much sense. If you made a choice one way, but then the next thing you know, the character who you were nice to now hates your guts, and it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I do think that there were some little bit of a disconnect there with some of the choices that you had to make during the season, and quite honestly, also the fact that there really wasn't a super strong protagonist like they had with Lee in the first series. Yeah, you had Clementine this time around, but she's more of a developmental character where she's learning her own morality. She doesn't have a 100% important bearing on a lot of the things that happen in the story, and therefore it kind of makes you feel like you're more sitting back and watching a movie than actually participating in an interactive game. So I did like The Walking Dead Season 2 overall. Did I like it as much as Season 1? No, but I still respect it. I still like the fact that the story seems to be continuing. I hope that they do make a Season 3, and it definitely deserved a spot in my top 10 favorite games of the year. Coming up next, well, it's time for the controversy to begin. I know that people are going to disagree with me on a few of these entries, and this one is definitely not going to be an exception, so check it out.